Hello, everybody. Today I have a lovely guest with me, Geoffrey, who's currently taking care of 15 disadvantaged and orphan kids. And so today we are going to talk about them and the charity, the support that they created for these children. So please welcome Geoffrey in this video now. So, Geoffrey, nice to meet you here. Would you mind telling us a little bit about you and what are you doing with your friends to help these 15 kids in your care?
Yeah, thank you so much, Timmy. Um, First, I want to say, pass some to pass my greetings from the children that we work on supporting, because I was telling them today in the morning that we are going to have an interview with a friend of mine who is looking into supporting this project. And the cook and the children that told me that to say hello to you. So receive the greetings. And so
You.
what we basically do, we do support children through with the upkeep, that general upkeep and education. So that is housing, food, clothing, medication, yeah, just general normal upkeep of a kid. So we got a home for them, so where they stay. They like just any other home, and they go from that home to school and back every day. Yeah, and we started this, like, it has now been around 7-8 years we're working on this. And we started with around it was 8 children. Yeah, so now we are 15. I have 15 of them, and I'm just talking with 3 friends. We do some business selling some handmade items to actually support these kids. So like some bracelets, we have some carvings, soapstone carvings, some beautiful things. And I think I shared with you, and I will share more with you so that
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can see
yeah. I
what.
saw it, and I'm going to add it to the video as well to the people to see how it's gonna look like or what are the things you are selling because they are really pretty though.
Yeah. So these kids, we pick them from the streets, and so most of them, some of them are orphans, most of them actually, and a few of them coming from maybe some disadvantaged families, and they were just in the streets, surviving on some odd jobs in the streets. There, maybe carrying luggages for people in the shops, like that, and to survive. So we thought maybe we could do something to help. Personally, I've worked with several organizations in the past since I was around 23 on supporting the disadvantaged children. We're doing well, so that is where my passion for this came from. I worked with All Vision. I've worked with the Yalde project, around the six children's charity projects that I've worked with, and all of them working on supporting disadvantaged children. So that's where my passion came from. And when the last contract that I had with another organization that I was working with ended, and the organization closed its operations here in Kenya, I thought maybe it would be good for me to start my own project and see if I could manage. So with the few money, the little money that I had, we started this with a few friends of mine, and so we have 15 of them, aged from age 7 to 17 years. Oh, from age 6 to 17 years. Sorry. Yeah, those are three girls and 12 boys.
This is really generous what you're doing, and I really love and feel the heart of yours inside this project. So could you
Thank you.
tell us how is kids' life normally look like in Kenya, those poor kids who you took on? If you did not support them, how would their life going ahead as they growing up?
Oh, yeah. So if we could not chip in to actually support them, uh, life could be miserable for them. Yeah, because you see, if they could have stayed in the streets, yeah, uh, their future will be blink, and maybe most of them will go into drugs addiction, drug abuse. Some of them be will go into crime, maybe robbery out in the streets. They could just have some very miserable lives, because if they could live in the streets, you see, there are those gangs in the streets. There's that life, street lives, that they could join, that they could got themselves into, and
Yeah.
basically they could not. Most of them could not survive to be adults. Maybe they could be killed along the way. Yeah, because life in the streets in Kenya is really bad, and there's a lot of crime. There's a lot of dirty stuff, and so it's not the kind of life I would wish for these kids to go through in their lives. And it's not the kind of future that I would wish for these beautiful young kids. So that's why it would pain my heart to abandon them, or to, let's say, to have to see them just going uh, into that kind of a life in the near future. So we have to do what we have to do to actually um, assist them and save them from that kind of life that will be awaiting them if they could still stay out there in the streets.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see. And how common is the child, child traffic and child labor in your area? If somebody's living in the streets, how often they get picked up for this reason?
Oh, for child labor
For child labor and for child traffic, to sold them to other people
in other countries, or you say
in
maybe
your country.
to be sold locally, yeah, or to be
Yeah. Or to be
yeah,
sold to anyone, any kind, to sold to other countries, to be
yeah.
a slave or anything like that. How common is that in
We've
your country?
we've had that kind of we have had those the child trafficking, but it's not really big here in Kenya. Currently, it was some days before it was an issue, but nowadays those child trafficking has gone really low, because I think the government is really working on it. And so it's hard to do some trafficking. Maybe locally, the bad thing that we have here is child labor. So many children are into child labor, forced child labor, uh, um, uh, and there's some kids who are suffering. They just they have nothing to do, so they just go into some farms, yeah, some plantations to do some labor work there, maybe in some shops, in some companies. That is the biggest problem that we have. Child labor is one of the biggest problem that we have, but not trafficking really. So no, it's not that big. And the bad thing is that the government is doing really nothing about child labor,
Yeah.
because the poverty is too low, is too high. Is the poverty levels here is too big, so that you know it is really even so hard to control the child labor situation that is happening here in Kenya. So it's really hard because sometimes even if you say maybe you want to maybe these kids they have nothing, they cannot go to school, and they have no place to stay. They sleep on the streets. They they eat from the streets. Maybe they eat some food that has been from the pits around there.
Mm.
That pits. Maybe they borrow food in the streets, and so you see, it's easy. They are very fragile to this child labor to this for labor work because they have nothing else to do. So whatever comes their way, they are ready to go. If there's opportunity, they told us, "Oh, I want you to go to this plantation for work," they go. So so if there could be maybe government is offering these kids a place to stay and food to eat and schooling and pay for their school, because here you have to pay school fees for and buy books. So there is no alternative that is being offered for them, so that they could not do the child they could not do this work and and go to school. So if there's no alternative given to them, so the only way to go is to do this work, go
Mm.
into the plantations and the companies to do the work here. So it's a really big problem. And without education, you see their future also, it's going to be so bad, because without education, they will have no jobs. Yeah, they will not be employed anywhere. They will have no skills. They are only skill they will have maybe from where they're working in the plantations, maybe in those companies, cleaning and doing some those odd jobs. So their future will always be as that. And uh you can always you can only foresee their future how it's going to be, because they have no education, they have no any other kind of skills. And that's the biggest problem that we have right now.
Yeah, I can see. So you say there is no free school in your country, or how common is it for the kids in your country to go to school?
There is something which was started like around 15 years ago or 10 years ago. They say free primary education and free secondary education, but it's not free really, because it started, they say there's free, but it's even more expensive than it was those days. So because now they have to pay fees. It, it's just the government the politicians are using some, trying to brainwash voters, so that they say that we're bringing free education, free primary education. But if you go to the schools, there's nothing free, because every month the kids are paying around $20. That is for food in the school. They eat lunch. That is food for lunch. The maize and beans, which they eat on the lunch through every lunchtime. Uh, Books you have to buy. They told us that they in whatever they're writing in their policies, that we have free education with free books, but there's nothing like that. If you go to the school, you have to buy books for these kids. Yeah. So you see, there's nothing really free. So in a month, a kid has to spend, like, let's say, uh, you say maybe food, transport, fees and everything. A kid will spend like $40 every month.
Mm.
So it's expensive. Actually, it's expensive. And here in a day, the uh, average average wage for earning for a person is like, is maybe, let's say, $1
A
or
dollar
less
for a
than.
day?
Yeah. for
$1
a
for a
day.
day.
Yeah, of course.
Oh my God. And
Yeah, that
compared to
is the
that, you have to pay $40 for a school. That's horribly expensive then.
more expensive, sure. So because they go for this plantation work and they're given that $1 in a day, you know, and so you see, it's really crazy. So it's bad. It's a bad thing. Yeah, the
Yeah.
situation is so bad. Yeah.
And how is your project going on right now? What is it that you are needing at the moment for supporting these kids?
Um. So we will we you know we're renting right now uh a place where they stay. So we pay $300 a month. That is the house rent for the place. Um, we spend for their upkeep, general upkeep, that is medication, if anything comes up, clothing and everything, and food. We spend like, let's say, around $400 a month. 400, yeah, $400 a month. That plus rent, that comes to $700.
Mm.
Um, that is 30, yeah, $700 a month. And then that is the expenditure that we need in a month. That it goes schooling and everything, 700, and upkeep, general upkeep, rent, and everything. We
Mm.
spend like $700 a month. So, but we've got to land somewhere. And we were thinking if we could do a fundraiser, maybe we could build a home for them in that land that we have. And it was actually my land, so I was thinking I could use it for that project. And so if we could do a donation, and get like 2,000 US dollars, we will comfortably build us just a simple home for them, and where they could live, so that we could avoid paying the house rent every month. Again, uh, as COVID when COVID emerged, it did eat us so badly and hardly, and so we had to close our shops in town where we were selling the handmade items. And so what we do now is just online selling. So we're trying to market on Facebook, share with friends online, and which is really not picking up, is not working really good. And that is the only way we survive, apart from maybe donations from friends and well wishers. So if we could get support, maybe to start a project, maybe a farming project, a chicken project in the land that I got there, uh, in the rural area, it will be good for us, because we will fetch money there to support the kids. We're looking for something that will bring sustainability for this project. Maybe farming, poultry farming. Now we do irrigation farming. Maybe we plant tomatoes in a place along the river. Maybe we buy machines that are generators, so that we can have an income that will support this project and have it be self-sustainable for for the long time. And that's kind of, if we could get this kind of support, we will really greatly appreciate. Again, we're looking for like-minded people who love to join us. We are welcoming anybody who could visit us. Anybody who will want to work with us can join, and we can you can be part of us. So we're looking for like-minded people who are thinking, wish, have the passion like we have to working on supporting these children. They can always get in touch with us, and we can work together. Yeah, because we're also thinking, we are working on funding. Has been a major problem, but we're working on registering the charity project as an international charity organization, so that it could help us even to seek grants from international organizations. You know, it right now, as we are registered as a community-based organization, it really limits us from seeking funding from international bodies, governments, and it's really, we are only limited to local support and support from maybe direct friends from well wishers and friends. Yeah. So that's
So
kind of support.
I'm going to provide your GoFundMe link in a description of this video so people can help you with as much as they can. And
Okay.
alternatively, I was thinking, if you have anything in your mind that if somebody cannot help with the money, how else they can help. So for example, is there anybody who help you to set up your website to sell your products? Or is there anybody to support you to find the registration process with this charity product, or something else in your mind that you could get help with?
Okay. We need, we are open to every available support that we can get. Is it, if it can be clothing, if somebody can can send us clothes, or they can bring on themselves clothes for the kids, we'll really appreciate. Shoes for them, um, food for the kids. If somebody will maybe wish to build the home that we have said we need to build for them, they could come, we can talk, and they can maybe manage themselves the building of the home. We are open to any kind of support, so that if it's not really, it should not be financial support alone, of which, although it's important, because we have to buy food for the kids over here, and that and everything, run all this logistics over here. But if somebody wants to to bring the material support as well, so it will be so good. Yeah. And we're looking for like-minded people, because we're really organizing ourselves, and we really need to make this project up and running and really be professional, because so that at least things will work out smoothly. So we're looking for like-minded people, and this is where we need, if anybody has this passion to do charity work, maybe on supporting the children like we do, we're calling upon them to get in touch with us, and so we can discuss, talk, have meetings, and we can work hand in hand together in making this project a success. We can be equal partners in the project, and I hope somebody somewhere will be contacting us anytime, so that we could do this together. Again, we need funding for helping us in the registration process of the organization as an international charity organization. We need a website as well. We need funding for all this process, and so we welcome any kind of support. We'll really appreciate. And so if you feel that you have this passion for this, kindly get in touch with us, and we'll always be happy to get in touch with you and discuss more on the way forward. Yeah.
Right, and thank you very much for being here today. And also, if you cannot help in any way, don't forget that sharing this video would mean a lot, because if you share the video and others share the video, then we can reach more people with this message. And even though if you cannot help, if you think you cannot help, you might be able to pass it on to someone who can. So anybody who's reached to this point and still listening to us, please make sure to send this video to your friends, to your timeline, any platform that you use, because every help is good for this cause. Every help is appreciated here. And thank you very much, Geoffrey, for being here with us today. And it was lovely to speak with you, and do keep us updated on how the projects are going.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. It's been a blessing and a wonderful opportunity to actually have this conversation with you and share with you about what we are going through and about our projects. And we really, really appreciate and pray to God that somebody somewhere will be touched by this and they're going to support us. Currently, as I told you, we are in a really bad situation that even we cannot afford food for the children, and we are really seeking support, and especially on the fundraiser. Hope we get some support so that at least we could feed these children, take them to school, and have them have a normal life of any other kid has in this world, and for them to have a bright future ahead. May God bless you so much. And this has been a great opportunity for us to share with you about us. Thank you so much.
All the best
God
for
bless.
you. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.